Katie, something's come up, and I'm going to be late today.
You mean, you're telling me you're going to be late again today? I can barely remember you coming home at some normal time.
It does seem to happen a lot. I'm sorry about that. Any other way I can make it up to you?
No, that's the real issue. You really have to work that much overtime? And just when our baby is about due. It really is bad timing. It makes me wonder, is everything okay at work? Are you in trouble with your boss or something?
Well, it's not like that, but there's no way around it, really. I was just selected to lead a new project, so I need to work hard on it.
So that's why you've been so pumped up recently.
Here is how things stand right now. I'm not in a position to turn down the project, and I certainly can't do a half-baked job on this. So I have to make a major time commitment.
I can see that.
Oh, you don't have to worry your head over me. In fact, enough about me. How are you holding up about now?
I'm doing fine. The child is growing right on schedule and kicking like a mule.
That's good to hear. So how is it putting up with the kicking?
As long as it's not when I'm trying to sleep, I can put up with it. This little one is just about to make its way into the world. I really wish you were around a little more to help with that. I want you to be here for our child, and for me.
I'm really sorry. Sorry that you and the baby are having to go through this alone so much of the time.
Well, I know it's because of work. What can you do? But you've got to realize, you're the father of this child. I wish you would do something to make more time for us. You see what I mean?
Well, yeah. Things will be settling down at work in just a little bit, so just hold tight. Soon, I can do that for you. I know it's hard for you right now, but I'll be with you as soon as I can.
Yes, but it's already deep into my 9th month, you know? Time's wasting, buddy. If you wait too long, the child will be born first.
I see it's not easy for you.
Just be sure you make the arrangements to be there for the birth, all right? I want you right there as the father. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Well, of course I'll get there once I hear that she's born.
What do you mean once she's born? You don't plan to be here when I'm in labor? I remember your coworker Leslie was there when his wife had a baby.
That's him, but this is me, and I'm not so sure about that part. I really don't deal well with the sight of blood, and I know there's plenty of that at birth. So being there for the birth itself, I really don't know.
What?
Look, they say that for women, at the time of birth the primal instincts just kick in, right? So you'll be fine with it, I'm sure. But I'm a man, so I don't have that built in. I don't know that I can handle it.
So that's how you've been thinking about the birth of your own child? Don't be such a wuss. You're the father here. Don't you see you should be part of the event?
I'm just going through life as a regular guy, not a father.
That's a weird statement. What do you mean by that?
I'm just saying, you want me to be the father figure, but that's just not me. So even after you've given birth, I'm not going to be that perfect image of a father for you. I don't see that happening. No, I'm not feeling any special sense that I need to be there for the birth.
What the hell? Then why did you ever say you want to have kids when you know this is what comes from that? Something doesn't make sense here.
I guess I was just thinking about what everyone expects from us, and what our parents are longing for that first grandchild. How could I go against those expectations?
Look here, mister. My child and I are not just tools to fit your need for a good reputation. Life as a family means more than that. I'm surprised that you don't get that.
I realize that. But look, we already know that we're having a girl, right? Then she's nothing to get so worked up over, is she?
What difference does it make that she's a girl anyway?
Because she won't carry on the family name. She'll be going out to join some other family when that time comes, that's why. I don't want the generations of Clint to end with me.
But so what? That's definitely a chauvinist attitude. Are you sure you want to stay with it? It should make no difference whether a child is a boy or a girl.
Oh, you're right, of course. I see I should take that back. So what ideas have you had for possible names?
Well, I have a few ideas floating around, but nothing concrete yet.
What do you think of Kitty?
Kitty? Why that name? Is there someone in your family by that name?
No major reason for the name, but it's floating through my thoughts a lot. So what do you think?
It may be floating through your thoughts, like you say. But what about the meaning of the name? And there are other factors as well. When you're naming our child, you have to give it concerted thought.
Oh, really? I just thought it was a good name.
Let's think on it some more, because it's important. After all, it'll be our first present to our child. Plus, it's fun to think about all the possibilities. Oh, by the way, who wasn't exactly that nominated you for this project?
That's a weird question. What do you want to know?
I thought I should just have a dinner party for him and his wife to show our thanks. Offer them some of our special Colombian coffee that we love so much. He went and picked you, so we should show our appreciation.
Come on, there's no need for that.
Oh, you know that the world is based on those kinds of relationships. It'll help you to make things move more smoothly. In the big companies, someone's promotion can get determined based on how their family gets along.
But that's not how my company works. You don't need to be making efforts like that, really. Just trust me on this.
It could be a real feather in your cap if his family knew how much we appreciated him. And we may be meeting at company parties in the future, after all.
Look, if we start doing that, then my colleagues would have to follow suit, you see? No, we don't want to start a bidding war among my colleagues.
I can see what you mean. But will it really be okay? I just want you to be in the best possible position.
I see that, but it really will be okay. Look, you're expecting right now, so you don't have to concern yourself with things like that. In fact, the boss has been kind of apologetic about making me work so hard when the baby is almost due. He can be thoughtful that way. Hey, I just remembered he gave Leslie a raise when his daughter was born. Maybe he'll do the same for us.
That would be great. In that case, I think we definitely would need to thank him.
Hey, if you keep fussing over things in this way, it might just make life harder for him. You wouldn't want to do that, right? Look, I'm doing fine at work, so you don't have to worry. And things will be fine while you just stay put at home for these next few days.
All right. But do offer your boss my thanks. And go do your best there at work.
Sure thing. Talk to you later.
Several hours later.
Hey. Respond. Aren't my parents trying to reach you as well? I need you to get in touch with me now.
What is it? I'm busy right now.
I've been injured, Arthur. I'm at the hospital.
What? Where did it happen?
It happened here at the hospital right after my checkup. It was the last major checkup before the birth. I was heading to the parking lot, just minding my own business, when it felt like someone tried to push me down the stairs. It was so frightening.
You say like someone tried to push you. What are you talking about?
Well, it's hard to describe. I felt like someone was there near me, and then I lost my balance. When I finally knew what was happening, I had already fallen down the stairs.
Are you sure you didn't just slip? That could have set you tumbling.
Well, I was in my sneakers in the time. I don't wear anything but comfortable shoes while I'm pregnant.
I can understand that.
And my hand was gripping the handrail lightly as I was heading down. So I would know about it if I had slipped. No, my feet were firmly planted on the stairs, so I don't see how else it could have happened.
Then you think someone caused this? That's a serious matter. Did you tell the police?
I was in no shape to deal with that at the time. Someone noticed me very quickly and the hospital staff came and carted me back inside. I called you and my parents once everything settled down. I'm lucky my phone didn't get broken. Also, I appeared to have no broken bones, but there may be other issues.
Was there any closed-circuit TV around that could be checked as to what happened?
Oh, there was nothing like that, unfortunately.
Wow, unbelievable. Are you doing okay?
No, I'm in the damn hospital. Things are in an upheaval. It's not just that I got bruised, it's impacted the baby as well. They're about to do an ultrasound to see how the fall impacted her. I want you to come to the hospital and take some time to look after me. Later, I may want you to get some stuff from home. Toiletries and stuff.
Wait up. I'm not able to do that right now.
What do you mean you can't?
I've been called away on a sudden business trip starting today.
What are you talking about, a business trip? The baby is due any time now and I'm in the hospital.
Yeah, well, I'm in the car already and I've just pulled over to read your text. That's why you couldn't contact me a bit earlier. I had to use the car phone to set up some meetings.
But why would you take a business trip right now? You knew the due date is this week. Aren't you concerned for us? It's completely irresponsible.
Sure, I'm concerned for you, the both of you. But what difference does it make if I happen to be standing beside you? I don't see how that helps. There's not much I can do, besides like fluff your pillows, I guess.
You might be right, but I'm anxious, you see?
I'm anxious and concerned as well. But if you're going into the hospital, then there'll be costs for your treatment, right? I've got to work harder than to make up for the costs. That's my role as the head of the household.
Arthur, well, find some way to handle those expenses. What about your role as husband and father? Just get back here, I really need you.
Oh, come on now. Thing is, I'm already hundreds of miles into this railroad trip now. I've already gone past Pittsburgh and practically to Toledo.
What?
Tell you what, as soon as this trip is done, I'll get right back to you.
Oh, all right. And when will that be?
I have a number of negotiations that I need to do, so we'll be away 2 or 3 days.
Isn't there anything that can be done about this?
Sorry to say, the decision's out of my hands, so there's just no way. I'm really sorry.
I see. So if I have some critical news, I'll get in touch through your office, okay? I know they'll have some way to contact you.
Wait a minute. No, don't go doing that.
Oh, why not?
It's just I know that everyone's extremely busy right now, so you'd just be getting in people's hair.
Getting in their hair? Is that how the company would respond if there's critical news that I have to get to you?
No, but I just don't want to create unnecessary concern back at the office. It could affect my growth within the company or working relationships. Look, what happens if I have a wife who's always calling up the company all the time? It'll hurt my reputation there.
That might be the case, but my situation could be really bad.
I'll do everything I can to stay in contact, okay? So if anything comes up, call me right away. You're my #1 priority.
Sure, I see. Look, actually they're doing a detailed examination on me pretty soon and the doctors are looking concerned about the results. So that's why I thought I should contact the company, depending on the results.
Going for a detailed examination? Are things that serious for you?
I don't know, but they said things could get really bad. Like I said, it's time for a detailed ultrasound, and they may be poking and prodding me in other ways. What should I do now? I'm not gonna lie, I'm frightened.
Let's just put it in the hands of the doctor. He'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Just make sure to contact me if anything's up.
Yeah, okay. I'll be in touch.
The next day.
Miss call.
What's up?
What do you mean, what's up? Did you call my office?
Yes, and? I assume you've called them since. What did they have to say to you?
Oh, stop it. Why did you call them in the first place? How many times did I tell you to call me?
I tried to call you a number of times, but there was no response. And that's after you said you'd be right there to answer. It really was serious, and I wanted you to come home right away. But now, it's too late for that. It's over.
It's over.
That's right.
I see. So what did the company say to you?
Oh, nothing. They just let me know the truth about you. They told me how you'd just taken 3 days of paid leave.
There must be some mistake.
I doubt it. Apparently, you told them you needed the time off in order to be there for the birth. Which contradicts your story of a business trip completely, doesn't it? What is going on? Where the hell are you?
Well, you see.
And I took the opportunity to ask them something else that was nagging at me.
And what might that be?
Yes, that name Kitty that you brought up.
What?
I thought there was something fishy about that. You were made such a big deal about how a girl couldn't carry on the family name. But then you were so interested in that name.
So what if she wouldn't be a Clint? Why shouldn't I be interested in naming her?
And then you were so evasive about the reason you like that name.
Wait a minute. What is naming that could have to do with anything anyway? Look, you had no business calling my office.
You're trying to change the topic, but I won't let you. I'm talking about your choice, because it is related.
I don't get it. I haven't the vaguest idea what you're going on about.
I did some checking whether there wasn't some kitty around you in the office.
You did what? Are you out of your mind? You tell me, Stam, because what do you know?
You tell me, Arthur. Because what do you know? I found out that one of the newer employees is named Kitty.
It's just a coincidence.
And not only that, she just happens to be taking off from work at the same time as you?
I'm telling you, just a coincidence.
Try this on for size. Someone who knew the social media accounts for all the new hires gave me her account information.
What?
Yeah, I was able to look through her recent messages, and there I found it. She said that she was going off traveling with someone she loved from work and that there might be a wonderful announcement coming as a result. Is there anything else you need to see?
Well, that's...
So what's the wonderful announcement?
Come on, that's someone else she's talking about. I really know nothing about this.
Yeah, and the suggestive photo she downloaded along with the message, it had your watch clearly showing in the picture, huh? I would recognize that Rolex diver's watch anywhere. So tell me now about this happy news. I'm all ears. I've got a pretty good guess, though.
Enough already. They'll tell you. Now there's no need to hide it anymore.
Ain't that the truth?
You're on target. I'm having an affair with Kitty.
Yeah, no kidding. But then I've got to ask. How could you even think of naming my child Kitty, knowing it was the name of your mistress? How could you be so cruel? What were you thinking?
It's a beautiful name from a beautiful woman. Why shouldn't I mention it?
You're clearly out of your mind to do something like that. So I'd have to be reminded every day of your infidelity to me. How could I have chosen you for my husband in the first place? I've got to wonder if it wasn't a mistake.
You seem to have forgotten all about her good news. And the good news for her is she's gotten pregnant.
I see. Are you happy then? Are you brimming over with joy?
Yeah, because Kitty's so much younger and more beautiful than you. And that child has got to be cute considering both of her genes.
What? That's all you have to say for yourself? Just when I thought you couldn't get worse.
And you did us a favor with that miscarriage. I've got to hand it to you. The timing is superb.
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm telling you that you're the loser from the moment of that miscarriage. I get the child I wanted with Kitty, and I have an easy out to get rid of you. That's the end of it.
How can you make this about winners and losers? This is all about your viciousness.
Kitty is more suitable for someone like me than you could ever be.
How can you say that?
You know what? Your kid must have bowed out at this point just knowing she'd be getting in the way of Kitty's child. It's such great timing.
So that's your approach to this? You're a poor excuse for a human being.
Just say whatever you like. No skin off my nose.
So how are you going to explain this to people at the office?
Explain what?
That these paid leave days were a total secret to me? And how will you explain how the truth only leaked out to me later? And that you pretended to be going on a business trip, while in fact spending the time with your mistress?
That was pretty cunning on airport, wasn't it?
If you think that a bald-faced lie is cunning, will you stand right up and say that you're going to marry that mistress you've been cheating on when we were wife with? I'm sure that would go over great.
I can just leave that as a surprise for later. No need to say anything about it now. Look, I can dismiss all the concerns you've brought up just now as lies. Why should they believe you over me?
But I know all the dirt about Kitty. You have no idea.
Oh, all your efforts on that front I can put down to your nervous temperament. Why should they take you seriously? You're just my wife.
So you'll just be lying through your teeth about this?
Only at work, you see? But I've let you in on the truth now. Not that you can do anything about it. No, I can keep it all compartmentalized.
Oh, so thanks so much for being so straight with me. What a great husband you've proved to be.
Sarcasm will do you no good, my dear. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Just get prepared for divorce.
So that's what you plan to do with me?
Oh, and you can leave me those baby toys. We wouldn't want them to go to waste, now would we?
Why should I do that?
We'll have Kitty's child use them.
What do you mean?
You just had a miscarriage, so you don't need those toys anymore. Like I said, it'd be wasteful.
You've got the wrong idea here, bozo. I never said I miscarried.
What? What are you saying?
I'm telling you there was no miscarriage. Surprise to you.
But you said it was too late. You said it was all over.
The pregnancy came to an abrupt end when I gave birth by cesarean after falling down the steps.
A cesarean?
It was a tricky operation, but both of us are in stable condition, no thanks to you. I called you about it last night, but you had your phone turned off, so you didn't get the news. I can only assume that you two were getting it on at the time? You dirtbag.
It can't be.
Oh, yes it can. And just so you know, I had a boy.
What?
It's not common, but it turns out that these mistakes do happen. Just think. He could have carried on your stupid family name. I know how much you cared about that. But now that we'll be divorced, it looks like that won't happen.
You mean I'm going to lose my son? But even if that's so, Kitty's child could be a boy as well.
Then I have some other news you need to hear. You really believe what Kitty has to tell you about that child? The more fool you. The fact is, she isn't pregnant.
What are you saying? How could you know anything like that?
It's just another thing that I found out when I called your office. They're a real treasure trove of information. I got to talking to her best friend at work. And a shocking fact came out. She told me Kitty bought some fake pregnancy tests online. She created this so-called fact to get together with you. Her friend saw her buying it on her work computer. Shouldn't have made that order there.
But that means...
That's right, she's not pregnant at all. Look, if she was pregnant, then last night she would be anxious about it and not in the mood.
I guess.
But that whole claim is part of her hold over you. I guess you chose Kitty as the easy choice to get your rocks off when I was pregnant. It's pretty damn gross. But you really stepped into a minefield when you linked up with her.
This can't be.
You know? At this point I don't care either way. I'll just start divorce proceedings and you and Kitty can start getting ready for the police to show up.
What? You're divorcing me, the police? What the hell are you going on about? What's going on here?
I see you're just babbling now. Really, what a psychopath that Kitty is.
Just wait a moment. Why are you calling her a psychopath? Sure. Buying a fake pregnancy test is not the best look at all. But we don't even know that's true for sure.
Because I found out it was Kitty who pushed me down those stairs.
What? Kitty did that? I'm calling bull. You don't have any proof. You said there were no cameras.
That good friend of Kitty's told me about that too. After I convinced her that she didn't want to be accomplice to this. It seemed she was beginning to see how unhinged Kitty was, and I got her to trust me.
How could you do that? Why didn't I know about this?
Kitty told her friend that the only thing holding her back from having you all to herself was my baby. She kept saying if only my baby didn't exist. Just think about that. It shows what a psychopath she is.
But I never knew.
And I don't want Kitty out there doing anything more to me and my child.
It can't be. It just can't be.
It not only can be, but it is. Consider yourself divorced. After all, there's no way anything but sorrow would be in store for me if I continued a relationship with a man like you, who had an affair with a woman like that. I have no idea what could happen to me or my son.
Hold up just a second. Kitty's over here, and I can hear all kinds of buzzy going on her phone. What's going on?
I would imagine that's either the police or someone from your company calling. Now that they've heard of her involvement in all this.
Now what should I do? What can I do?
First, I think you should grab her so she doesn't get away. Look, if you're spending the whole day with someone who attempted murder and then let her go, you could be charged with aiding and abetting. Or harboring a fugitive.
Wait here. I knew nothing about what she did to you.
It's the police you should tell about that. You rat. I've already given a damage report to the police, so they're well aware of the crime. And if I could ever have trusted you before, I can't trust you now. I'm definitely going to divorce you. No turning back. I never expected to be in this position, but I'm Googling divorce lawyers right this second. Let's see what results I come up with.
No, wait. I see I made a mistake. Let's start over again. I still care about you.
And look how you showed it. Trying to throw me away like a cheap tissue? There is no reason to believe you.
I didn't mean for things to go this way. How could it all end up like this?
I don't care how you wanted things to be at this point. I need out of this crazy situation for the sake of me and my son. Oh, I see on this website that you have no right to attempt to refuse me a divorce now.
I know I was out of my mind. Please find it in your heart to forgive me.
Let's see. You made up a business trip out of whole cloth to go away with your mistress, and then you laughed and celebrated when you thought I had a miscarriage. You must be crazy to think I could forgive you. You think this world is made just to suit your fancy? Well, it isn't. No, I have to think of the safety of me and my child.
Then at least allow me visitation rights for my son. After all, he is my son as well.
Well, let's see. You're the man who wouldn't be there to see his son born and wouldn't come home when his expectant mother suffered a major accident. How could a man like that expect to get visitation rights? You're dreaming if you think that's possible.
But Katie, you're not thinking ahead. How do you plan to keep yourself going? You won't have my income anymore.
Oh, you don't think you're going to be giving up some of your income to take care of him? Do you know what child support is? Plenty of mothers survive without their piece of crap husbands around. Just so long as you pay your court-ordered alimony and child support every month. Plus I have plenty of family nearby to help me.
So you're gonna be a single mother and just leech off of me, is that it?
That's one way to put it. If you're a psychopath. By the way, your parents just happen to be over here right now.
What? Why?
They're here, apologizing over how you behaved, saying they don't know how their son ended up this way.
Did you tell me to my parents? Is that how they're part of the picture?
What are you, 5? That's how you sound right now. If you'd just think for a moment, you'd realize it's normal for grandparents to come to see their newly born grandchild. And I had to explain to them how I ended up having the cesarean and where you were.
Oh.
You see, you're the abnormal one here. You're the only one who wouldn't even come to see your new child. What sort of father would do that? But you really didn't want to be a true father, did you?
I've been wrong all this time. I'll go to your side right now.
Oh, no, you don't. Once this restraining order goes through, you'll never be anywhere near my side again, or you'll go to jail. Plus, it would be irresponsible for you to leave that woman on the loose. The only thing you should do now is to watch that woman and see she doesn't get away. And agree to the divorce proceedings with no back talk. And pay the damages for your cheating. And give child support for this son, who you didn't even care enough to come and see into this world. And just as soon as you get served with court documents for divorce, offer proof of service. And then give up any right to meet with my son.
How am I supposed to take this all in right now? It's too much.
Well, then just go ahead and take that woman to the nearest police precinct.
Then will you forgive me?
Of course not. What do you take me for? You're about to be grilled about this series of events as a person of interest.
A person of interest.
Why would I have anything more to do with you? Surely you see by now that you and Kitty are trouble?
But I've done nothing. And I never asked anybody to do anything. She did that all on her own. I had nothing to do with that.
Oh yes. Go to the police. Tell them all about it. If what you're saying is true, you should be able to get out of their hands quick enough. Though that certainly leaves her.
Just wait a moment.
Oh, and if you're thinking of dragging out the divorce, they'll be sure to take this into court and do everything it takes to make it happen. It'll be easier on you if you just go along with a quick divorce. But make sure you offer me a proper settlement amount. Do it through a lawyer, mind you. Don't forget about this restraining order I'm applying for.
Restraining order? But I was duped all this time. I don't see how I got into this.
I've already had enough of this conversation.
It's now I understand how valuable you are, Katie. That's it. That's why Kitty was needed for our relationship to be strengthened. Because Kitty came into the picture, I'm aware of my true love for you. I know now, you're the one that I want. Come back to me.
Do you have any idea how gross that sounds? It's repulsive.
Give me a moment. Kitty's just said something strange.
And you haven't been? I'll play along for now. What's she saying?
She won't stop saying that she did this all to get married to me. That she did it all for my sake. What is this craziness?
Now she's really showing how mental she is. And you were never quite aware of it.
This isn't the Kitty that I know.
I guess she was able to keep it from you all this time. Not that you were looking for the truth about her, of course. But why are you looking to me for answers? What am I supposed to know about her? Deal with her yourself. You chose her over me.
Please, help me. I'm begging you, save me. I didn't know she was this sort of person.
You sowed the seeds that made this happen, now you've got to accept the harvest. Didn't you know Kitty's reputation at the office? Were you aware at all? It seems her coworkers knew she had major issues. They just left her to herself because they sensed she was too much to handle. But you were blinded by love, or was it lust?
Please, help me.
Even if I wanted to help you, there's nothing I can do. I have just one piece of advice for you. Do everything I said before, then take responsibility for this whole mess by marrying her.
I don't want to.
But you know a divorce is already in the works. There's no way I'm backing down. Why don't you tell her that, see if it calms her down?
I've been telling you, I don't want a divorce. And now she's saying just pick up some no-fault divorce papers and get everyone to sign so we can have each other. She's got this weird glint in her eyes. What is wrong with her? She's losing all grasp on reality.
She was just good at pretending to be normal before. And you bought the act.
How can I get out of this?
I don't care. But whatever you do, don't you dare come to the hospital. Although no visitors are allowed now, so I guess I don't have to be concerned about that. And by the way, while we've been talking, I've found a proper divorce lawyer. She comes very highly recommended and apparently knows how to deal with weasels like you. I'll get divorce papers set up through her, so don't contact me. She'll contact you. So get yourself your own counsel.
But
Oh, and of course there'll be other documentation to deal with regarding our assets, so make sure you finish that up with my lawyer. After the police are finished with you, that is.
how did this all happen? This is not at all how I pictured this day going.
Oh, really? Well, this began with you demanding a divorce, so turnabout is fair play.
How was I to know things would end up this way?
Oh come now, you started down the road to divorce by cheating on me, so you should at least expect there to be some fallout. That goes without saying. Also getting married to Kitty is just what you planned, right? Although it might end up being a jailhouse wedding.
How can this be? I can't deal with this.
You can only blame yourself for throwing your whole life away for a woman who had youth and beauty on offer, but nothing more.
Now Kitty is shouting that she wants to talk to you. Would you talk to her?
Absolutely no way. I will not deal with that crazy woman. The second she takes over your phone and starts texting me, I will block you. You know I mean it.
I hear you already. Don't block me.
So you go ahead and tell her this then. She can have you, but I'm going to sue her for all the damages I can for pushing me down the stairs.
I just told her. She's scaring me now, saying we'll pay the damages off together.
Great. At least she's willing to take responsibility, unlike you.
I just can't get into this.
Look, how many times do I have to tell you? You're already up to your neck in this. You have no right to object to a divorce.
I know I have no right to your forgiveness either. But I'm begging you. I know I was wrong. Please forgive me.
Your pleading is much too late. By the way, your office knows the whole story now. I got in a good long talk with your boss, and he was distinctly surprised when I told him your lie about the business trip. So I believe you'll see some kind of punishment coming your way.
Will they fire me? I can't go down like this.
How would I know about what decision your company would take? Maybe your girlfriend knows. Ask her.
Could you at least tell my company that I really regret the things I've done? If they know I have remorse, it might make a difference.
I have nothing to do with that. That's all for you to handle. Although there would be a problem if there is no settlement or child support that you can pay, because you have no disposable income. That would be an issue.
Then please help me out here.
But then there will be enough proceeds from your disposition of assets to put toward the settlement amount and so on. So I guess I don't care, after all. You made this bet. Now lie in it.
So do you plan to take everything away from me? Not just your child, but my work, even my money. How could you be so heartless?
You're hardly the one to talk about heartlessness. You're the one who betrayed me, so you have to accept this payback.
But I worked so hard at my current job to get to the position I have now. There's no way to easily give that all up. Does all that effort count for nothing? How should I rebuild my life?
Oh, please spare me. I know all about how you're already set up for a new job. I happen to know about that job your father has already lined up for you. It should be a pay raise. He's so disappointed in you, but he'll still look out for you in that area. So you don't have to worry on that front, do you? Somehow scumbags like you always end up okay, don't you? At least me and my son will be taken care of as well. And we'll be safe from you.
But still, it'll be so embarrassing for me to get fired.
You made use of your position in the company to cheat on me, so you've brought this on yourself. And she's no great prize in the end, is she? Look, just go to hell. And make sure you take Kitty with you. Oh, and the police should be getting there any time now, so goodbye.
Wait, please. Just let me have a picture of my son. You could do that for me, couldn't you?
I can't think of any good reason to send you a picture, so my answer is no.
Please, I just want a single glimpse of him.
Oh, that's what you want, is it? No, I guess you go ahead and live with the regret of having crushed any opportunity of that happening. Like I said, this is of your own making.
Just think of it as my last wish, please. Please.
You're just scaring me now, so I'm gonna block you. Anything left to discuss you can talk about with my lawyer. Goodbye. Shortly after, Kitty was apprehended, and Arthur was also taken into custody by the police in connection with their crime, although he was able to leave the police station soon after. Following that, Kitty's parents persistently pressured Arthur until he agreed to marry her. The wedding took place in the fall. Since Kitty was already in prison, their marriage ceremony indeed took place behind bars. Arthur faced severe backlash at his company for the entire ordeal and was abruptly terminated from his position. Now, it appears that he is working at a factory under the close supervision of his parents. Based on what I can gather, he has become a mere shadow of his former self. As for me, I received a settlement amount and an ongoing child support agreement from Arthur's lawyers. Unfortunately, the division of assets was insufficient to cover the amount he owed me. Surprisingly, Arthur's parents intervened and initially covered the remaining debt, which he would repay to them later. Additionally, when Kitty was unable to fully compensate for the injuries, her parents also contributed as a peace offering. Fortunately, I have not had any direct contact with either of them since then. Now, my son Bruce is in good health and growing up quickly. I consider all of these events as valuable life lessons to remember as I continue moving forward.